Namaste.
Namaste.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Yes.
And thank you, Engage, for hosting us. Just a reminder before we begin to please turn off your cell phones or watches that might beep during your meditation today. Happy New Year. It's January. The threshold of possibility. A good time for fresh starts and resolutions. The new year is a great time to make a fresh start, to have a clean slate, and to make promises to ourselves that we can keep throughout the year. New Year's resolutions date back to ancient Babylon, 1800 before Christ. They used to make resolutions at the beginning of the year to pay their debts in the coming year. 4,000 years later, some things never change. In recent history, 1800s AD, resolutions became popular again, often as a result of people having second thoughts about their holiday excesses and deciding to clean up their act for the new year. So what is a resolution? A resolution is a firm decision to do or not to do something. Usually, we make resolutions to change bad habits into good habits. The sages of yoga wrote entire treatises on how to modify our habits in a healthy direction. The sage Patanjali wrote the Yoga Sutras, which contain guidelines for right living called the yamas and the niyamas. Patanjali's system is very often compared to the 10 Commandments or to Buddha's Eightfold Noble Path for right thinking, right action, and so forth. And at the basis of all of these systems is the key element in making a resolution manifest: changing a habit that conflicts with our core values. The yoga sages call our bad habits samskaras, and they tell us that this is how it works with the mind. Imagine that you're standing at the top of a mountain and you have a hose with access to an unlimited amount of water, and you start to aim that water down the side of the mountain, and you let it stream and flow and stream and flow, and before long, that water will start to carve a groove in the side of the mountain. And once a channel is dug, it becomes the path of least resistance, and the water will easily follow that path forever. And it'll carve a deeper and deeper path over time. This is how the Grand Canyon was made. And this is how our habits are all made, both good and bad. The mind loves to follow a groove, a channel, a habit. This is why we always talk about mind habits and thought habits. So when we repeatedly think of something outside of ourselves that we believe will bring us happiness, we start to crave it. And before long, we just have to have it. That is how a negative thought habit is created. That is a samskara. And the more we act on a craving, the more entrenched a habit becomes, until it becomes automatic and seemingly unstoppable. The sages tell us to use meditation and mindfulness to slow down the automatic play of the mind. When we slow down our thinking, with meditation and mindful breathing, we calm the body and the mind, and we become aware of how our thoughts and our cravings arise. When we identify with the witness and observe the thought or craving as it arises, we are presented with a choice, a golden opportunity. At the moment between the thought or the craving and acting on it, we can intervene with our resolution. And we can carve a new channel, make a new habit, and reach for an uplifting thought or action. Resolution requires three things. First, a firm decision, dhruti, or determination. Second, awareness and being present in the moment so that we can observe our habits of thought and make choices in the moment that align with our resolution. And the third ingredient is compassion, so that you can gently guide your mind to a better choice, a better habit, a better life. So you may wonder what makes a resolution stick. As it turns out, the Spanish Catholic mystic, Santa Teresa de Avila, for whom I'm accidentally named, famously said this: "Cuando se trata del camino espiritual, lo que necesita es determinación, determinación, determinación." By that she means, when it comes to the path, what a seeker must have, the one thing a seeker must have is determination, 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 dhruti. If you have determination, you can attain everything. Every resolution requires a firm decision and a bit of determined discipline to begin making a new thought and action habit. We follow our thoughts with actions. So being present to our thinking process and witnessing our thoughts as they arise gives us the power to intervene between the thought and the action. So if I'm craving something that I shouldn't have, and I resolve that that's not good for me and I'm not going to do that, it's good for me to recognize the thought or the craving and intervene immediately before I deepen a bad habit without even thinking. So if I start to crave something that I shouldn't be having, I can recognize that craving. And then I can introduce the third important element in resolve, which is compassion. Resolution is nothing but harsh discipline without compassion. Resolution is just harsh discipline without compassion. We have to begin at the beginning by taking our mind and sitting it down for a polite chat. We're in this together, body, mind, and spirit. Invite your mind to assist you in striving you to be your healthiest self. We make resolutions and changes to better ourselves, to live longer and healthier and happier. In other words, we do this out of compassion for ourselves. I have found that the easiest way to make a resolution stick is to tie it to a core value of my own. For me, it's my health. I can make any sacrifice, no matter how difficult, if it's for my health, because I want to be here to complete my work. So if my resolution is to eat only wholesome foods so that my body is healthy, then I embrace compassion for my body, my temple, and then I treat it. I treat my resolution as an offering to that which is divine in me. This isn't punishment for past misdeeds. This is care for my temple. I can enthusiastically embrace any resolution that I frame as a very valuable thing. So for me, I have to remind myself constantly of my resolution. I put signs up in my room so that I see it.
Lots of signs.
Yeah, lots of signs. But they're reminders of my firm decision to follow my resolution. When I get up in the morning, I repeat my resolution first thing in the morning, then throughout the day, often, and then again, last thing at night. And before bed, I review my progress throughout the day with care and compassion for myself. If I failed to meet my goal, I can recalibrate. I can offer myself some extra compassion and recommit to thoughtfully following my resolution tomorrow. And a resolution doesn't have to end next New Year's Eve. Some resolutions can last quite a while. Some even can last a lifetime. About 9 years ago, I was diagnosed with kidney disease, and I made a resolution to see what I could do to help repair that. And I resolved to change my diet so that it was very restrictive for sodium. So all the salty foods went. Well, I knew when I made that decision that it would take time and it would require focus and discipline. But because it was something I valued for my health, I was willing to do whatever was necessary. And I also knew I'd make mistakes and I'd have slip-ups, and that's fine too. I can compassionately look at that and address each mistake carefully, compassionately, and kindly. And I can achieve success in the long run by renewing my resolution day by day. Constantly reminding myself of the value of my goal was critical. Compassion was also critical to success. I knew I'd make mistakes, but my plan was to acknowledge the mistakes and not make them again. It does not take long to establish a new habit, a good habit. True. And within a few years, my kidney disease was reversed.
And mine is completely healthy. I'm on that same diet.
With compassion for ourselves, the journey to fulfill a resolution can be very joyful. So make a reasonable plan, pick an attainable goal, break it into bite-sized pieces, and bring compassion and mindfulness and resolve, truti, determination to your plan. And then you can change a bad habit into a good habit in no time at all. And now Noni will lead us in a dharana, guided meditation.
I was joking when I said that I too now have a healthy kidneys, but it's crucial when you decide to change your lifestyle and embrace something new, to have the cooperation of the people in your family and your friends, because that can lead you astray if they're constantly offering you something that you have decided is not good for you. So before we begin, reach for the sky. Stretch out your arms, stretch out your legs. If you need to get a Kleenex, do so quickly. Pop in a cough drop if you need one. And wrap yourself up in a shawl or a warm sweater, because our temperatures often drop when we meditate. And so Tess and I either wrap ourselves in a shawl like she has on today, or extra layers like I have on. We want to be careful and comfortable when we are meditating. Some of you may have already chosen a resolution for this new year. Some of you may still be turning over in your mind what you wish to undertake as a resolution for this new year. And some of you may be saying in your mind, oh, dang, I haven't come up with any resolutions yet. But wherever you are in that process, good for you. Good for you for being willing to try to find an uplifting resolution. Yay for you for being willing to try to find a healthy and nourishing resolution. Congratulations to you for searching for a compassionate and loving resolution. A resolution that will enable you to grow closer and closer to the light and the divinity, which are your own true nature. So now let's prepare to meditate by taking a steady, comfortable, upright posture. First, if you're able, place both of your feet flat on the floor, hip width apart. Next, straighten your spine as much as is possible and comfortable for you. There's no need to force anything. Let the back of your neck gently elongate as the crown of your head lifts slightly toward the ceiling, and then ever so slightly tuck your chin just a wee bit, as if you were nodding to somebody that passed you on the street. Again, remember, there's no need to force anything. It's important to be comfortable when you meditate, so you can change your position if it becomes uncomfortable. Now, place both of your hands in Chin Mudra, with your thumbs and your forefingers gently touching, and then place your hands palms down on your thighs. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can just rest your palms up, palms down, rest them in your lap, whatever makes you comfortable. Chin Mudra helps to ground you and hold the meditative energy within you. And that's why we recommend it. Now, please close your eyes. Allow your eyes to soften. And then smile. Go ahead. A nice, big, beautiful smile. This will allow your facial muscles to relax completely. Go ahead and smile another great, big, beautiful smile. And then send its soft, relaxing energy to your belly and to your back. Take a minute. Let your belly and your back settle into the softness of your smile. Take a moment to scan your body for any signs of tension or stress, and send warmth and relaxation to those places. Now, please take in a nice deep breath, and then release that breath fully. Again, a nice deep breath in. And exhale completely. And one more deep inhalation. And breathe out long. Now, please return to your normal rate of breathing. Next, we're going to use our breath mantra. Our breath mantra is Hamsa, spelled Hamsa, Hamsa. As you inhale, we silently repeat hum. Hum is the sound that your breath makes when you breathe in. As we exhale, we silently repeat sa. Sa is the sound your breath makes when you exhale. Now silently repeat to yourself. Hum on your in-breath. Sa on your out-breath. Hum on the in-breath. Sa on the out-breath. Hum on your in-breath. Sa on your out-breath. In order to manifest your resolution, you need strength and resolve. You also need love and compassion. So for today, Hamsa translates into the following. You can please repeat it silently in your mind after me. I am that essence which is compassion and loving resolve. I am that essence which is compassion and loving resolve. Hum on the in-breath, sa on the out-breath. Again, silently repeat to yourself, I am that essence, which is compassion and loving resolve. Hum on your in-breath, sa on your out-breath. And now, please repeat to yourself silently the following. I'm going to read both parts before we do it. First, we'll breathe in compassion and loving resolve for ourselves. And then we'll breathe out and surround ourselves with compassion and loving resolve. So now we'll do that together. I am breathing in compassion and loving resolve for myself. I am breathing out and surrounding myself with compassion and loving resolve. Again, I am breathing in compassion and loving resolve for myself. I am breathing out and surrounding myself with compassion and loving resolve. Hum on your in-breath, sa on your out-breath. Hum on the in-breath, sa on the out-breath. If thoughts should come up while you're meditating, just return to repeating the mantra. Hum on the in-breath, sa on the out-breath. Hum on the in-breath, sa on the out-breath. And now we'll meditate. You can bring your awareness back to the room. Take your time doing that. Take a nice deep breath in and let it out slowly. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Please stretch. Gently shake out your fingers, your arms, your legs, your ankles, and your feet. After every meditation session, not just with us here, please do it every time you meditate at home too. We don't want anyone falling, and it's crucial that your ankles and feet are wide awake before you stand up. And now we come to the part of the class where it's your turn. Does anyone have a question or a comment or an insight that they would like to share? And if so, you could raise your hand or just speak, and hopefully the host will let you in. Don't be bashful. Like crickets, only you're not squeaking. Does anybody have a resolution that they would like to share? Keeping it close to your heart and not sharing, huh? Well, I came prepared just in case. I was talking to a friend a week or two ago, and my friend has Parkinson's disease, and he's having a hard time with it. And he's angry with his body, very angry with his body for letting him down and not letting him do what he wants to do. I asked, do you say bad things to your body when it doesn't behave? And of course, he was perfectly honest and said, oh yeah, I curse at them. And I thought to myself, So I asked my friend, would he be willing to try a different approach that I have used with myself and I've taught to other people because it was successful for me? And he said yes. So it's very simple. It involves the love, the kindness, and the compassion that we so readily have for other people if they're in a hard spot. And we take that and we use it for ourselves. If we can use our hands, we can use our hands. If we can't use our hands, then we use our minds, or we use our minds and our hands. And that we embrace the thing that isn't working the way we want it to. So for me, I used to make pots and animals and birds out of clay. I love doing that. My hands don't let me do that anymore. I used to make things out of wood with a lathe and with tools. My hands don't let me do that anymore either. So I could be really angry with my hands and say bad things to them. But what I learned is that if I hold them and I treat them with the kind of love and compassion that I would have for a small child who's having a really bad day, and I say sweet things to them. For instance, thank you so much for letting me be able to make pots with clay and to make little things and big things and things with woods and things with handles. Thank you for letting me do that. I still have a few of them, so occasionally I'll pick them up and just hold them to remind me of how kind my hands were to me at some point in my life. I can do that about my knees too. I used to be able to scramble around inside of boats and help my dad fix boats and build them and lay out sails on the wooden floor. I can no longer, well, I can get down there. I just can't get myself back up. So I talk to my legs and I talk to my knees and I try to send them as much love as I can. Some people would say, well, I'll just get depressed. But I found that no, you can't be depressed if you're grateful. Gratitude for something helps you break out into a smile. It helps you to hold the body or the part that isn't working well and to have compassion for it. So that's a resolution that I began a long time ago. It's one that I've taught to many people. And now you know it. So I hope you try it out if you have a body part that does not behave the way you want it to. And I hope that it helps you to have compassion for yourself and for those parts that no longer can do the things you want them to do.
Any last questions? Okay, then. We thank you for joining us. We thank you for joining us in our meditation hall. Thank you for meditating. Thank you, Liz and Engage, for hosting us. And Noni's going to tell us what's next month.
Next month, we meet on the 10th of February. And the topic is a Sufi saint story, or maybe it's a Indian saint story. But the question is posed by a sage, a wise being. He's asked this question by a seeker. What kind of town is this? What kind of town is this? It's a mindfulness tale, and we think you'll enjoy it. We do. And it reminds us of how to be every day. So tell your friends, invite your neighbors, and join us to find out what kind of town it is.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you all again. Namaste.
Namaste.